And Happy New Year, Mina. I hope you're all celebrating safely, and if you drank a lot, I hope that you're drinking tons of water. Because remember, the best way to prevent a hangover is to drink water as you're massively dehydrated. Anyway, many of you may be wondering why we're staring at a GameCube screen this time. Well, I'll give you a hint. It's actually not a GameCube game. I'm actually being serious with this. But this is a launch day GameCube, and in fact, it is my very own that I had gotten. I was able to get it back from a friend of mine whom I had given it to. So I bought it back from him, so I'd have a GameCube for this specific reason. But we're going to play a game I think is one of the most underrated games of the Game Boy Advance library, especially for when it came out. A lot of people pan this game, especially because of its graphics, and it makes sense. I believe it came out in 2006 in the U.S. Let me actually double check that real fast. I have the information right here. Yeah, it was released in 2006 in the U.S., but originally the game came out in 2002 in Japan. So as such, actually, that was during the Game Boy Advance launch era, if I remember correctly, and as such, for that time, the graphics are pretty damn good, I think. Why did it take so long? Well, let's just put it this way. It's a miracle we got the game in the first place, so for that, I'm very thankful. And for the companies involved in this game, this one's for you. Thank you for bringing this to us. We're going to do something on the Game Boy player. And this is going to be a very long Let's Play. This is my first essential RPG, if you can even, but you can consider this one. But it is made by Banpresto, and was published in the U.S. by Atlas. Bet you can't guess? Super Robot Tyson, original generation, aka Super Robot Wars. And we're going to start a new game. Now, you have in most Super Robot Wars games, you have two choices. The Super Robot route, usually, and the Real Robot route. As this game contains only original characters, you really won't see anything that's licensed. As if you're hoping for that, I'm sorry. But you will see kind of hints or basically Easter eggs, I want to say, kind of things that point to other series. Now, Ryusei is part of the SRWOG team and is the Super Robot pilot for this game. Josuke, who I thought looked a hell of a lot like Zero the first time I saw him, is the Real Robot pilot, and he's with the ATX group. We're going to pick the SRWOG route, one, because I know it a little better, even though I've played through both, and two, we get something in the SRWOG route I want. So, Ryusei route it is. 179 SE, Pluto Outer Sector. And I will not be doing voice acting for this for the most part, because it's too hard. I'll just read it. Or maybe I will, we'll see. All units, report status! Blocks 439 and second bridge are gone. Main cannons disabled. And Gigan Scudo? Surrounded by unknown enemies, sir. Grrr. We're outmatched, sir. We should retreat. There must be something we can do. These bug-like mechs are not of our world, sir. Aliens? Most likely, considering their size and numbers. Their carrier must be drawing near. We're in grave danger, sir. Just when we reach the outer rim of the solar system. I know. I'm sorry, sir, but we must retreat. If Fury sustains any more damage, we'll never make it back to Earth or even Mars. Very well. Recover Gigan Scudo and pull back. You'll pay for this. I apologize for my horrible Daitetsu. Episode 1, Second Contact. Now we'll be going through one episode a day, at least I'm going to try, which is probably going to be multiple videos because these missions are long at times. The Moon, Sirius, and LOS-128. Coordinates confirmed. This is Doll 1, initiating Level 4 test sequence. Roger that. How is your guest benchmark 2? Great. Thanks to Colonel Car Y, it's really been improved. She runs like a 2-year-old thoroughbred now. Good to hear, Major. Commencing inspection. Show me what an ace pilot of both the UCC and the aggressors can do, Major. Yes, sir. Initiating test. What the? Unknown objects approaching. Bearing B1262. Doll 1, be advised. Confirmed. Doesn't seem to be space debris. There's no data on it. A real unidentified object. This is Doll 1. I'm going to make contact. You're going to do what? If it's not If it's not one of ours or the Feds, we must identify it. The UFO has increased its speed. It's going to ram into Doll 1. It's launching an attack? Get out of there, Major! This is Doll 1. I'm switching to combat mode. Combat mode? You're not permitted to engage, Major. It appears I'm already engaged, Soldier. But your Guessman Smart 2 isn't equipped. This mech has arms, does it not? That's crazy! Dr. Hamill, stop him! No, if that's an anthropod weapon as EOTI believes it is, we can finally exhibit the power of the personal troopers. It's the hot brass. What are you saying, Dr. Hamill? Now, my trusty Trombe. Charge! Yes, we're already thrown into the battle in the first instance. Now I'm going to go over a couple things and we'll probably cut this video. Now they're saying, these missions are long. I'm going to try and do one mission a day, but if I don't shoot me. I do have classes starting up pretty quick here. If you select the unit and hit the A button, you'll come up with your command list. Now, of these commands we have right now have move, spirit, and status. Move lets us move. There actually is different terrain in this. Space, oops, let's not do that. If you highlight a section, you can actually press one of these. Okay, L and R, let's select, brings up your map. L and R to change your units. I'm playing on a GameCube controller, so I have to remember what controls are. This one? Okay, if you hit the B button, you can actually see what boost a piece of terrain will give you. In this case, space gives us nothing. The asteroid zone gives us plus 20 defense and gives us the enemy a 20% chance to miss. These numbers actually become very important. It recovers no HP or energy though. If you actually press B over a unit, you can see their stats. In this case, we have 1,000 Tesla. That's our command ship. We don't want to lose it. Bringing up A button over an empty square brings us essentially our top menu. We'll get into that in a minute, but first, let me go over this. Other move, you have spirits. Spirits are very important because pretty much you can't win the game without it. Each of these has different effects. Focus raises your hit and invade by 30%. Excel increases movement by 3. Not moving keeps the effect in. And Sense receives the effects of Strike and Alert. Strike means your next attack. Means all your attacks for that turn will have a 100% chance of hitting. Alert means you dodge the next attack. Status brings up your status, which can divide into unit, pilot, and weapon info. That is our old unit, the Guessman Smart 2R, and we have just attack as our weapon for the moment. Our main menu brings end phase, which will end our turn and begin the enemy's turn. Units displays all your units at the moment. Mission, which is our mission, all enemies must be shot down, or we lose if Elzam is shot down. And our battle mastery is all enemies must be shot down within 4 turns. This is important. This is the key to getting some of the things in the game and to getting the extra mission at the end. We will be working on this a lot. Search lets you search for units based on their spirit commands. System lets you change certain things. I'm going to leave everything as it is. And, you can also play the game left-handed. And save lets you save. You can also just bring up save to save, which I'm actually going to do right now, because in this game, it is a nice feature they gave us. Reason being is because there are times where you go through a mission, you just did this really hard part, you'll want to save, because in the next part you may die and you have to start the whole mission again. Well, if you save in the middle of a mission, you can just load from that point. And there's 2 different types of saves, and this is basically kind of a quick save. It doesn't delete itself the second you use it, but it's not like an end of mission save, and you'll see later on. Anyway, I know I've been long-winded in this part. There's just a lot to explain. Now that everything's pretty much explained, we should be good to go. So next time, Minna, on Let's Play Super Robot Wars Original Generation, Part 2 of however millions of parts there are going to be. Not millions, but you know. We will actually get through this mission. I'm going to warn you. I'm probably going to have to use that save data a couple of times because this is a hard mission for me to get the battle mastery on for some reason. Anyway, Happy New Year, and John A.